the boycott that's currently going on with Netflix, right? So I think Elon Musk has been leading the charge on this one. It's really come to the fore in recent weeks that Netflix is putting a lot of questionable programming out there, particularly for children. I think I might be drunker than you at this point.
I was gonna say, if Drinker just vanishes and he's just like starting these streamers.
Yeah. Which has prompted a wide-scale backlash against it and a boycott at this point. Like, where it's become now fashionable to cancel your Netflix subscription, put it up on social media, and tell everyone that you've cancelled it. And it has actually impacted their share price. They've dropped about 4% over the past 5 days. Which is not inconsiderable when your shares are trading at about $1,200 per share, which is quite hefty.
I feel like this is something that's not going to do anything to Netflix ultimately. They like a
probably not. No.
Yeah,
and share price is more. It's not about any real valuation. It's the perception of your valuation. So people will just see like people talking about it on Twitter or whatever and sell anyway, just in case. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, it's a huge amount of people which are canceling.
Well, and a lot of the shows that are being talked about, these have been talked about many times over the last few years. But I think that the bigger issue with the Netflix thing is people are now discovering this for the first time. So how long? Like there was the first one that came out that kind of spurred all this and got this ball rolling. We're now seeing examples that have been shown over the last couple of years. But that first one, though, I had never seen before, and that show's been canceled for 2 years now, right? But so I, as a parent, go, well, how many kids have seen this without people actually knowing about this? That's the question that I keep going back in my mind. How many children, 7-year-old children, were watching this and were just utterly confused as to what they were looking at? I
was actually going to bring that up just now. Cuties is just the fact that they hosted that fucking movie, and for all I know, it's still on there. It's like the most reprehensible shit, and I don't know. They never should have recovered from that, but they just do. It's just an inevitability.
Well, it's like they've essentially cornered the market on streaming services. They've got so many shows that people do want to watch that they can afford to get away with this like really questionable shit in the background that's like for a very niche audience, if you catch my drift. And that's what you end up stuck with. But my God, it's distasteful. It's not just the stuff that was cited in this article. Because I think the thing that kicked it off was some show called Dead End Paranormal Park. It's like a kid's show. But guys like Elon Musk were calling it out because it promotes like transgenderism and stuff like that. Fair enough. Like that's if you want to talk about that, you can. Then there's like Netflix's hiring practices where they openly brag about like how they're essentially erasing white people from their the writing staffs of TV shows in front of and behind the camera, all that stuff. Again, like, okay, like this is another like mark against you where it's like you just kind of feel like you're discriminating, but you're doing it under a positive guise, which doesn't really seem that fair. And then there's just the usual memes, which have become actual reality now, where it's like, oh, I'm going to do a historical drama set in medieval England. Well, clearly half the cast have to be black. Like, why? Just because, like, that's the current standards that apply to TV, And it's like, well, it's not historically accurate. Who cares? Like, that's not what we're going to worry ourselves about. And again, it's all these things that mount up and like gradually create this opinion of a streaming service where it's like you are just like 100% like skewed in one direction here, and you've been able to do that with impunity for years, and now you've kind of been unmasked, and you're probably feeling very nervous about that now, and maybe you should, because the things you're doing are not conducive to good art and not conducive to fair hiring practices.
You know what? Oh, go on. I apologize. Go ahead.
This has been going on for a while. I remember back in 2022, there was an article that came out. Netflix has a sustainability officer whose job it is to use storytelling to push environmental stuff. There was social impact entertainment was the new thing to replace like edutainment, where that was we're going to put the social stuff first and try and attach a story to it. Now it's like we're going to make a story and then work out where we can put the social stuff into the story without scaring off the audience. And they did a meeting where basically anyone attended. Amazon attended, Netflix, Warner Brothers, all had people going to these kind of meetings. And so it is, it's kind of a thing. If you want to make stuff for these companies, they make sure that you add it in. They make sure the message is in there, and it's more about them finding that kind of gray zone where they can turn it into what they want without scaring the audience off because they realize they've gone too far. So I think we'll just see more of this, not less. It'll just be better hidden than before.
So that chart that you were talking about, Drinker, there's one little piece on this that really I was like, wow, this is it right here. This is a chart that says percentage of Netflix series with an underrepresented lead or co-lead, right? This is in 2018. Then it says industry-wide here. So you can they were ahead of the curve, 25%, right? 2019, up to 42%.
Wow.
Still ahead. 2020, 46%. 2021, 47%. We're creeping up here.
Are they really underrepresented at this point?
Oh, we're getting there. 2022, they dipped. How sad. The industry, though. Look at the big jump there. 2023, 71%. So are you really underrepresented when industry-wide 58% of these have underrepresented leads? And Netflix has 71. This is just 2023. This does not include 2024. So, we're this line is going straight up. Okay. It's amazing to see. So yes, the
microphone is.
Oh man,
what is happening to your setup, bro?
I don't. It's when I share the screens.
I think he's a clanker.
You fucking clanker.
My bad.
No, that's fair enough. Gary,
yo,
wait, we had you on screen for a second.
I'm here.
There's your beautiful face.
Oh yeah, so beautiful.
I've missed you, man.
Oh.
I missed you too, man.
Let's hug it out. How's it going?
I'm listening to you guys. I'm supposed to be reading my audiobook. It's rough, dude. It's so rough.
Are you reading it like, oh shit, I don't even remember saying that?
Well, I'm like, oh man, I should have edited that down a little bit. That sounds a little repetitive. But then there's just, it took me 4 hours to get me through fucking 5 pages. It's a joke. But heard you talking about Netflix and one battle after another, and with God, can I start with the Netflix thing real quick? Because I've been wanting to go off on this all day. All right.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
libs of TikTok, Elon canceling Netflix, fucking go for it. I just want to point out that and a lot of people have pointed this out already. These are shows that were out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, height of COVID, already canceled and already covered thoroughly by my channel. Clownfish TV made multiple videos on this. Articles were written back when John F. Trent was abounding in the comics. I mean, we have been talking about this shit for fucking 5 years, excuse my language. And I'm just noticing some people on the right going, wow, we gotta do something about this. It's like, yeah, no shit. We've been talking about it for 5 fucking years, and you're calling us virgins and incels in our fucking basements, you pieces of shit. You fucking idiots. I've been trying to fucking tell you for years. This is why we watch this stuff. This is why we cover this stuff. That's why important, Mahler, knowledge is power. You know that. So that's why we watch this. We cover all this stuff. I try to watch all of these on the streaming services, whether I pirate them or not, whether I'm subscribed or not. And, how many times have we heard, why are you guys watching this stuff? Why do you guys keep watching? This is why. This is why. Because if we just all walk away and we abandon it, and you abandon your Netflix, you know what they're going to do? They're going to put more fucking gay shit on it for kids, and you got to be there to call it out. There is no new culture. You could tell I've been pissed about this all day. There is no new culture. There is only the culture. And we have to take it back or we lose it. But we can't black pill and walk away. And by all means, cancel your freaking Netflix just because most of it sucks. If you want to, that's fine. I'm not calling you out for that. But this is why we cover it. This is why pop culture is important. And this is why normies and people on the right who might not understand that we care about this stuff, and they don't have to. I don't care if somebody questions how much I care about action figures or comic books, or you care about games. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What it is it is part of our culture. It is a huge part of our culture. And guess what? The activists recognized that years ago and were able to infiltrate thoroughly, absolutely thoroughly, to where now they're like making cartoons about transing kids 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So that's why it's important to cover this stuff. I'm glad it got popped up again, but I'm just watching some of these people going, we probably should have paid attention to some of this. Yes, you should have. Yes, you should have. Damn
it goes both ways too. Like we got to find the shit that's worth celebrating as well.
And that too. And you can't find that out without watching it. Yeah. Right, Mahler? So
some people think, hey, something like an Alien Earth, that's going to be great, and it's horrible. But then you think something like The Penguin, that's probably not going to be that good, is it? It's like, oh, it turns out to be great. You got to go see it, figure it out what's going on,
Yeah. Yeah.